This is an Extra 106.3 podcast. To hear more live and local content like this, tune into 106.3 FM or download the Extra 106.3 app. Extra 106.3 and a Second Chance Bail Bonds are proud to bring you Justice Unfiltered. Real conversations with real people from every side of the justice system. From the latest in law and order to the voices of those impacted, changed, and working to make a difference. This is where truth meets transformation. Now, it's time for Justice Unfiltered, presented by a Second Chance Bail Bonds on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra 106.3 app.
Welcome to Justice Unfiltered on Extra 106.3. My name is Tug Cowart, along with Daniel Matalon. He is the CEO of a Second Chance Bail Bonds and a Second Chance Monitoring. Today's guest is going to blow you away. Today's guest, like nothing you never heard before, and it is the best thing that you're going to hear today. We're talking to Carldez Goodley, a.k.a. Atlanta's Hood Anchor, a freelance journalist, social media personality, grew up in Decatur, spent time in East Atlanta. He started on December 30th, 2024. It was a joke, a video of a man threatening to jump off a bridge on I-75 and the 85 connector. Turned into a viral moment, changed the course of the Hood Anchor's life. That single clip pulled in 1.7 million views on TikTok, 60,000 views on Instagram, and nothing has stopped since. Hood Anchor, welcome to the show, man. What's going on?
Another day. Glad I'm able to be here today.
That's right, dude. We're so glad to have you. Daniel, tell me how y'all at a Second Chance got hooked up with the Hood Anchor.
You know, to be honest with you, it was through his posts actually.
Okay, so you just saw it and you're like,
Yeah,
man, this is cool what he's doing.
We were looking to expand on our footprint, and we came across him, and then kind of through discussion, that's kind of what led to it.
Yeah.
But really great guy.
Yeah, dude. I've shown so many people your stuff before. And I'm like, you ain't gonna believe this. This dude just runs out there and he just calls it like you see it. Do you have did you go to journalism school? Did you do any of that stuff like the people? Because neither did I, by the way. That's not a trick question. I'm a 3-time college dropout, so there's no trick question to this. Had you ever had any interest in journalism? Did you go to school for journalism? What got you to where you are?
I never went to school for journalism. I wanted to go to college, but I didn't go to college.
Yeah. I dropped out 3 times, but I got you.
I kind of just stumbled upon this, like, I ran across the scene, and then next thing you know, like, after I kept doing scene after scene, I'm like, you know what? I'm a journalist.
Ain't nobody else doing it.
Yeah, I'm a journalist.
There's nobody else doing what you're doing. Nobody.
Yeah.
You know, there is a new wave, Daniel, of independent journalists. And it was funny. I felt like we were off to a good start when I made the Hood Anchor chuckle a little bit. Because I told him about a dude named Nick Shirley. Because I was like, do you keep up with other independent journalists? He said, no, I don't. So let me tell you about this dude named Nick Shirley. He's making national headlines. They're covering him on CBS 60 Minutes. They're covering him on CNN. And this dude went up to Minneapolis, and he noticed that at the Learning Center, they had misspelled the word learning on the sign. So he was like, well, that's odd. Maybe I should go in and ask these people about what's going on. He went in. There's no children at the Learning Center. There's no at the Learning Center, right? First of all, that's the first thing you notice is that they've spelled this wrong. Maybe if you don't want to appear that you're defrauding the federal government by $9 billion, you should probably spell learning right. And then he goes in, there's no children. So independent journalism is exploding right now. Yeah. And Hood Anchor, you're part of it. You're part of a new wave of digital media covering things that aren't getting covered or not getting covered in a genuinely honest way the way you do it.
Yeah, I get that a lot. And then it's like, it's hard for me to be like, oh, yeah, they right. Because I thought that, I would think that everybody would be genuine and want to be genuine and correct. Mm-mm. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's something different that you're doing. Yeah. And I think that's the appeal, Daniel.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, just the authenticity of it is what drew me to it, and I just love how live and in real time it is, you know, and that's the world I live in also.
Yeah. So when y'all got connected, was there ever a point where you're like, I don't know about this bail bonds thing. I'm going to steer clear of this, or you're like, oh my gosh, this works hand in glove. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
No, it's kind of not. That's not kind of how I think. How I think is once I talk to the people that I'm trying to work with, then I know if it goes hand in hand. Like if you got the same, if our visions align, then I know that it's meant to be. But even it could be for the most amount of money in the world that I and the money that I need. But if your vision don't align with my vision and you don't understand what I'm doing on my platform, then I don't care about working with you.
What is the vision?
Just the whole thing is it started off as a joke. I'm doing journalism.
Yeah.
I'm trying to really expand to having like a real media company where it's actually Hood News Network where I'm covering everything. And I got multiple reporters. I got other journalists working with me.
Yeah.
I got media personalities, and it's like a real news network. And all the companies that I'm aligning with is I'm meeting along the way. So I'm building these relationships right now, law firms, bonding companies, chiropractor offices, restaurants, multiple businesses. And the ones that see my vision and understand my message, then cool, we can work with each other. You know what I'm saying? Because I tell sponsors all the time, if it's something that's like dealing with like, if it's too crazy, I don't really want to put all my sponsors up on the video.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, because they don't want the negative press, maybe.
Yeah, it's not even that though. It's just out of integrity. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah,
like
sure.
you know what I'm saying? Like the woman, like the situation yesterday.
Holy
a
cow.
woman gets killed, or maybe a child gets killed.
Yeah.
I don't want to really put sponsors on posts like that.
But you still go cover them.
I still cover them.
Yeah, you just don't include the sponsors, which I would imagine, Daniel, was probably good for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the whole model of it.
Well, it's just well thought out.
It is.
That's the thing that jumps off the page to me. You're like, hey, I work with these folks, and it's good for both of us. That's what a good business agreement and a business arrangement is. I'm not going to not cover something because I don't want the sponsor to be upset about it or whatever. I'm just going to cover that one independently. It reminds me a little bit of the Masters a few years ago. Remember there was some sort of uproar about the Masters not doing something that somebody wanted them to do, right? And then they stepped back and they said, we're going to boycott all your sponsors. Yeah. And then the Masters was like, we just won't have sponsors. It kind of reminds me of that. It reminds me of what you would do. You're just protecting the people that you work with, because you listed off quite a group of people. I mean, chiropractors and all these other businesses. How do they get in touch with you when they're like, I want to advertise with the Hood Anchor?
I got my number in my bio. It's a number that's in the bio that I actually respond to people on myself. Email, I respond to all my emails. I really manage myself.
Yeah.
So if they hit that, I respond immediately.
How many people are in now? Because obviously it started out just you, just one, and then when you realized, hey, there's something here, you build from there. How many people are working with you now?
Right now, I just added. I got like a assistant / camera person now, so he's gonna be with me on days where I have like events, and I'm trying him out. I just started with him a couple days ago. I do got another person with an executive assistant that's like with branding and stuff like
sure.
that. I got somebody like that. She just helping me. So now I got a couple people that's helping me.
That's great news, man. You just see the growth, and it's so impressive, especially when it's so organic. Just people. You saw a need, you saw an opportunity and took it. Daniel, you did that very same thing with the Second Chance when you started that.
Right, and that makes obvious sense as to the synergy here, right, between the two of us, and why it was kind of a very easy partnership for me.
Do y'all have friends in the same circles? Or friends is probably not acquaintances, people that you work with in the same circles. Are there overlap in what you do?
There's.
I think so.
Yeah.
Like he's cool with, because I'm cool with a lot of community leaders. Like even the sheriff, like Sheriff LeBut.
Sure.
Like we cool, and I think y'all cool with him too.
Yeah.
So we got like a lot of people mutual people that we probably don't even know.
Yeah, no, and I would imagine as you develop this relationship, a lot of that is going to kind of show itself, and I think that's the best part of the relationship, right? Is when you're like, oh my gosh, there's more than I expected, more overlap than I expected. Yeah, no, I think that's when it's the best. Like you're streaming us here, you're streaming us now. What is it that you think people will get out of even this conversation? Because they know what they get from you on a daily basis, right? You're at the scene, you're reporting on things, sometimes even before the news gets there. You're on scene before anybody else. What do you think they get out of seeing you talking with Daniel here on Justice Unfiltered today?
I think they get to just hear me talk more about just like just how my point of view on how I feel about what I'm doing, and because I don't really talk about it, I just work. Yeah. So it's like they don't really get to see me talk too much about stuff. And how the business is actually growing and came together. I never talk about it on like actually on my platform.
Do you think you ever will?
No. I just give it have opportunities for podcasts and stuff so I can talk about it on there. Yeah. I kind of just stick to news reporting on my page.
Yeah, absolutely.
And community stuff.
Sure, which is exactly what I mean.
Yeah, no, he's great in action. I mean, I've watched the whole thing live, obviously, many times. And it's
what did you see come down live? Because I want to know.
Well, no. It just he does a phenomenal job. I mean, he just does a really good job,
dude. You know the next thing that needs to happen. I think I've got the perfect scenario. We'll set it up in the next segment. The next thing that needs to happen between the hood anchor and Daniel and his team at a second chance bail bonds and a second chance monitoring. I think I have the plan, and I'm gonna give it to y'all for free. I'm just gonna hand it over to you. Y'all pick it up and run with it. And one day you're gonna look back and be like, that Tug. He had it down. This dude had it down. I want you to tell folks how, because you've been featured on 11 Alive, you've been Atlanta Magazine. I heard you on 99X. I've seen you on WABE. Axios has interviewed you. It's funny to see how people just gravitate towards you naturally. How do folks get a hold of you? Where can they find you? Like if they've never heard of the Hood Anchor before, where can they find you?
Instagram and TikTok, Hood Anchor Yay. All together exactly how it sounds. Hood Anchor Yay, Y-E. So as soon as they type that in, they can see
you're going to find him. Our operations manager, he was like, who was in there with y'all today? and I was explaining. He was like, I feel like I've heard about that. I was like, go look him up. And sure enough, bam, first thing that came up. So Hood Anchor ain't telling you the wrong thing. Our ops guy just did the exact same thing. So go check it out and get ready to see things you've probably never seen before, from a presentation you've never seen before, and you'll enjoy it. Some of it will make you go, oh my God, and the other of it going to make you laugh a little bit, I have a feeling. Is that the goal before we go to the break? Is that the goal? Are you trying to bring levity to a situation, or are you just...
No, it's really just me. Like, people think I be trying to be funny. Like, some people...
Well, it's because you are.
I don't really think I'm funny. I don't even... I be dead serious. Like people, they were like, oh, he funny. I was like, what's funny? Like, what's funny? Like
people get shot behind me. Ain't nothing funny about this. I just think it's the way your delivery. I think it's the deadpan. It almost seems like something you'd see on a sketch comedy or something. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because you're talking about something very serious, but in a deadpan kind of way. And it's intriguing. Anyway, we'll come back with the Hood Anchor here on Justice Unfiltered, along with Daniel Matalon. He is the CEO of a Second Chance Bail Bonds and a Second Chance Monitoring. My name is Tug Cowart. This is Extra 106.3.
This is Justice Unfiltered, presented by a Second Chance Bail Bonds on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Welcome back to Justice Unfiltered on Extra 106.3 with Daniel Matalon of a Second Chance Bail Bonds and a Second Chance Monitoring. My name is Tug Cowart here on Extra 106.3. The Hood Anchor is our guest. What started out as a joke a couple years ago has become this phenomenon, really, in independent journalism. And it's so fun to see what you're building. Now, I know the stories are serious, but it's fun to see a young entrepreneur just pop up out of nowhere, something that I don't even know that you saw coming. When did you realize that, okay, this first one was kind of a goof, kind of a joke, but I see a path forward here? Like, at what point did you realize that?
So I started last year in January. The first thing I covered was the December before the New Year. So then next thing you know, January 5th was like my first time really going back into it. Like it was like my I did the story of him finna jump out the bridge, finna jump out the bridge. Then I'm sitting at home, I'm brainstorming. I'm like, what can I do different?
Yeah, what's next?
So January 5th is when I started actually going out to scenes. So that's January 5th of 2025. So I'm being consistent. I'm going to crime scenes. I'm going to fires. I'm going to, car accidents. I'm going to everything that I can go possibly. So once that next month hit and law firms and companies start reaching out to me for sponsorship and they was trying to pay me, that's when I knew it was serious.
You're like, yes, I will.
And
if
then,
I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah, I was like, hold on, like I can make some money like this. Like I really was just playing around. So once I seen the people take me serious, because first the people was taking me serious. They like, hey, we want to see you on these scenes. We need your perspective. You know what I'm saying? It was like great interaction with with my audience. And companies was reaching out to me, so it aligned right, and I was like, you know what, I'm doing something right.
And
it's
obviously,
one phone call.
Yeah.
That's it. It can take one phone call, and it changes the whole deal.
Was that what it was for you?
Well, yeah, I got one opportunity, a second chance. That was my second chance, and that's what led to what it was. But I needed that, to get there.
I think people oftentimes are like, what I'm doing is not important. It's not. I'm just fooling around on my phone. I'm just making content, whatever. It's amazing, though, that if you stumble onto the right thing, you'll know it. Mm-hmm. If you're putting together, I'm not saying you can't create some content brand by just, putting out video after video after video. Whether you're talking about music or pop culture or maybe it's illegal. Maybe you're a lawyer doing that. I'm not saying you can't slow burn into it. But I feel like what y'all did is the way you know it immediately, right? Because you sat down and you're like, holy cow, people are all of a sudden calling me. Daniel, you said, I got a second chance. I want to give other folks a second chance. Yep. It's almost like when it's so obvious that's the no-brainer, man. You can't
and also
miss.
when you know also.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. When you know, you meet people, when you know.
Yeah. I love it. I think it's great. Let's talk about the wardrobe. Yeah, sometimes you wear a robe when you go out there.
Yeah, when I started off, I was wearing a robe, and I'm not trying to get too much away from it, but I did my first year in it, and I just feel like now it's getting so hot again. Like, I don't know, like I was sweating so much last summer, and I was out there 100-degree weather with a robe on, and I was like, but I feel like now I got big enough to where I don't need a robe.
I agree.
Like my personality and my realness is, going to definitely,
You can just be you.
Exactly. So I could just be me.
It's that the first time you maybe need a little hook, but once after you've established yourself as the guy that does this better than anybody else, or the fact that nobody else is even approaching doing what you're doing, I don't think you need it as much. I love the Magic City hat too, though. I mean, that's as Atlanta as it comes, right? The Hawks were about ready to do a whole Magic City night, and the NBA scrapped it on them.
Yeah. We unfortunate situation, but it was. I feel like they shouldn't have did it, but I feel like they should have just went ahead and let them do it, because it wasn't that. It's not like strippers was finna be there. You know what I'm saying? It was just a
the
brand.
namesake.
You know what I'm saying? Like they let people get on the they let the circus people get on the pole and
swing around.
But we can't put together food with the name. Like even if it's kids there and a child, like, hey mom, what's Magic City? You supposed to inform your child and let them know what this is.
Right.
Now, what age should it be? Should you tell them that? Ain't no telling, but you if they young, you can lie to them at, that's this, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But once they get old enough, you supposed to let your child know what's really going on in the world.
Yeah.
So I don't see the problem with it.
What's your connection
with Magic City?
Yeah,
it's like family. Like Magic City, like I grew up. Like I grew up in Magic City. Like
no way.
I did.
What do you mean you grew up in Magic City?
Like I grew up there. It's like when I ain't gonna say what age I started going there, but
yeah, we don't
want to incriminate anybody.
When I started going there, I was I was a young man, and like just with the connections there, like knowing the owner, knowing his sons, knowing the management, it's like a family environment. So those same people, like they supported me 100% in what I'm doing now. Even before it was the same love, and then now that I'm doing this, it's like, all right, now we got to really back you up.
Yeah, I think that part of it's really funny. That he wouldn't admit what. I mean, he's out there putting himself out there. We ain't going to admit that one, which I think is probably pretty smart. Do you feel like the connection with them? Do you feel like that people see the hat and that actually helps them out a little bit too? Because I do.
I don't know. I honestly don't know because I'm not doing it for that.
Well, I know you're not, but
so it probably does.
How could it not?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it'd be like if you wore any company's branding, like a NASCAR driver, man. You got stickers and patches everywhere, you know, and that.
Yeah, it's become a staple on the.
It totally has. I think, not meaning to, not intentionally. I think you absolutely help them out. I think, but that's the reason, Daniel. That's the reason you advertise, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, I love.
You gotta get your Magic City hat. You gotta switch it out. That way you wear it. That way when you go on, when you go on adventures, having to track people down, you got your Magic City hat on.
Hey. It's for the wings, right?
That's what I hear. I hear it's best in town.
Yeah.
I need to get over there and
wings
try
in town.
Yeah, you got to go over there and see.
That's what they say.
I'm going to go with the hood anchor over there and give me some wings.
You got to order them. Got to go inside and order them.
That's it. That's it.
I'm going to do it. I love it.
Drinks on yay. That's what he says.
Okay. Sign me up, man. Sign me up for that. I love it. Here's the idea I have. You have got to, now that Dog the Bounty Hunter works with you, have you met Dog?
Yeah.
I feel like, so maybe there may be something in the works and I just don't know about it. That's what you got to do. You got to have you go out with Dog the Bounty Hunter, and that way he documents the entire thing from, hey, we just got a call, this dude is loose, we got to go get him, and the hood anchor goes and documents the entire thing right next to Dog the Bounty Hunter. It'll be the biggest thing you ever seen on TV. No. I'm getting some head nodding. I feel like,
I guess, all options are on the table, right?
Yeah, when we can put this together, I think we're going to knock it out. You talking about going viral? For the hood anchor with Dog the Bounty Hunter. I mean, this would be extraordinary. Would you be in for that?
Yeah,
dude. Walk me through how you would document it and keep it authentic, right? Because I'm not looking for something that they would do on CNN as a documentary. I want the hood anchor documentary. How, from phone call to end, how do you walk through that?
Every situation is different, so it'll be different for every situation. But from the phone call, it'll really just be probably my commentary and the way I talk. So that'll probably will bring the most excitement because I'll be like, man, what the hell?
That's right.
Like it just start off something crazy. Like I just probably say something off the wall.
Yeah, and I have a feeling Dog the Bounty Hunter would set up an environment where there'd be all kinds of crazy things that you'd be able to say.
Yeah.
Because he is. I love him to death. I've gotten to know him a little bit. And he's super funny, and you just never know what he's going to say. Mm-mm. His wife said he cusses in church. So, I mean, and this is a faithful man. Like, he has a hard time. Sometimes he don't realize what he's doing, and he just says it. So I'm thinking documenting from beginning to end, from phone call to tracking the guy down. I mean, they made a whole show of that to begin with, right?
Yeah.
But this spin would be like nothing anybody had ever seen before.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, we're on to something here. Mark this down, Danny Matalon.
I'm putting it down. I'm putting it down. It's down.
Traditional reporters, they have credentials. You know, like if you're going to report on the Braves, you can submit to get a credential and go cover the team, press passes. You got news vehicles. Do you see people like giving you an unusual look when they're there with their camera and it says CNN or it says, Fox 5 Atlanta? Do you get weird looks from them when you're out there reporting?
I get it. The ones that don't know me, but most of them know me now. But when I first started, they used to all look at me like who is this person?
Yeah.
Like what is he doing?
What is he doing? Yeah.
Like he ain't like they probably a lot of people thought I wasn't gonna last. Probably.
Oh, well, they were wrong about that.
Yeah,
Holy cow.
Yeah.
When do you have? Because you've added like one of these things to your microphone too, right? It's a H&N maybe. Is that what you got it with you?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love it. Exactly right.
Yeah, H&N.
Dude, I love it. What made you decide to go? Because that's just branding, right? I mean, that's just what it just lends credibility. No different than the credential that you would get if you were going to cover anybody. Has that made a difference? Do you think that branding has actually helped you, and in what way?
I feel like branding always helps a person. So it's just showing the people that like how more serious that I am. Like
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. Like I'm dead serious about what I do. So now that you're able to put my brand with this and put me reporting and all that come together, they just able to see me like go from when I first started to where I am now. Because when I first started, I didn't even have a microphone.
Was you just using your phone?
I didn't. Yeah, I just using my phone only. I didn't even have like the
lav mic.
I didn't have none of that.
Yeah.
And then as I learned along the way, so everything that I'm doing now, and I'm also still learning. You know what I'm saying? So I've just been critiquing myself along the way, learning and just picking up things and just trying to be the best, journalist, hood anchor that I could probably be.
Are there people that give you advice?
Yeah.
Like, are there? Where does that come from? Who do you confide in? Who do you say, hey, can you peek at this and tell me how to make it better?
I don't ask nobody for advice. I don't ask nobody like what they think about this. People like they just give me they word. Like they just give me their 2 cents. Like I could be on the scene and a cameraman might come with me. Then they for another major news station. They be like, man, I love what you're doing. You need to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
just from their experience, they're able to share it with you.
Yeah. And then it'd be like news reporters, other news anchors. They might meet me and be like, hey man, you should start doing this. You should move like this. Like they just want to see me do good. Like other reporters.
That's got to be a good feeling.
Yeah.
What's the best piece of advice that somebody's just given you unsolicited? I mean, it may be simply getting a microphone cover.
You're definitely getting a microphone. Another good advice somebody gave me was probably just to be consistent in whatever I'm doing. Consistency gonna always win.
You said in one interview you let people talk without censoring them. How do you give that balance? Because you don't want to, you want to have credibility, and it's obvious that you do. How do you balance that? Because you want people to take you serious, but at the very same time, you want it to be as authentic as it can be. Is that a tough balance?
Not really, because let's just say I go to a scene, I go. I'm gonna talk about the Piedmont scene. 16-year-old girl get killed at Piedmont Park over the weekend last week. I get there, it's a bunch of kids out there. All the kids know me. But they see me and they start joking and laughing. So now it's like, hey, hood anchor, we want to say something, but we want to get on your thing. I might tell them before we start the interview, like, this ain't a joking matter. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we're not here to laugh aloud.
Yeah, I know y'all might think that I'm funny and this and that, but this serious. A little girl just lost their life, so we're not gonna make fun of the situation. We're not gonna be too, and then they'll kind of like understand, like, hey, I'm an adult. I'm telling them the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And then they'll listen, and then they'll get on there. Like, they might sneak up and laugh about one little part, but they're not laughing. Like, them kids not laughing at the situation.
Sure.
It's just the way that life is. They might be laughing at something that happened along in the story. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, but that's okay with me. But what we're not gonna do, we're not gonna get on my platform, and we're not gonna, act like we, super desensitized, like, somebody just lost their life.
Yeah, because it's a serious discussion.
Yeah.
How do you decide where to go? Because there's crime all over the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's crime outside 285, right? How far do you go? How do you decide which ones to cover? Is it just whatever comes in first?
If it happens and I know about it, I'm gonna drive. I just drove Lake Lanier before.
Okay, so way up and coming and Forsyth and up into Gainesville.
If something happens out there and I feel like I can get out there in time, I'm gonna go.
What do you mean in time?
For the crime scene.
Before the scene's wrapped up? Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Or just like I try to get there where it's like, all right, let me just go out there and cover it. Like it didn't, like I didn't drove an hour before. Like,
where were you going then?
Lake Lanier. Lake Lanier. Yeah, I didn't drove up there like twice.
What was happening up there that took you up there that piqued your interest?
A man was in a car and they found his body inside his car underneath the water.
Jeez. Yeah. That's enough for sure. How do you feel like growing up in Atlanta has given you maybe more firsthand knowledge of, hey, I kind of know where to keep my ear to the ground?
It's more of a, like, me being from Atlanta, it's more of a, I know every street, so I'm gonna beat anybody to a scene.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to race nobody to a scene right now. Then another thing is the communities, they actually know me, and most people know me before I was doing hood anchor. So it's not like I'm getting out there and I get out there and I report on people that I know.
How do you think that affects the fact that people are willing to come talk to you because they know you? Because if somebody rolls up from, I don't know, Fox 5 Atlanta or WSB TV or CNN or whatever, and they don't know that person, I don't know that they give them 100% of what they feel like or they believe, because I just don't think they do. Knowing somebody, I think that makes an incredibly good environment to get truly what happened.
Mm-hmm. So it's like people just trust me, even if the people that don't know me, the people that follow me on social media, they feel like they know me, and we built like some type of family connection and like an extended family. So my trust is definitely in the community. Like, they definitely trust me.
Yeah.
So I try to like hold that trust with integrity, and if anything that I put out is wrong, I delete the video, and then I hold myself accountable. I get on there and say like, hey, I was wrong about this, and then I'll be very transparent.
Not everybody does that. I'm telling you, the TV that are on in the studio with the news, they don't always do that. When you see retractions in the newspaper, it's in the very last page, and it is the tiniest print you ever seen in your whole life. They don't take it to the level that the hood anchor does. Dude, your credibility is so much stronger than about 99% of media outlets these days. And that value is off the charts. People actually trust you. What do you say to people that criticize you? Because I'm sure occasionally somebody's got something to say.
I tell them that, because I get criticized every now and then, and it's kind of it gets to the point where I got to tell them like, hey, you telling me something about like this my neighborhood, this my community, these my people. Don't sit up here and tell me how I need to do it or what I need to do. Like, it had been like I came to a scene it was a couple weeks ago. I get to a scene. I think it was like a 10-year-old boy get shot. He in his bed. The family called me to the scene. Like, that's how I found out about the scene. Like, they called me like, hey, my folks just got shot. I want you to come up here and report on it. I get to the scene. One of the cops, she tell them that they can't come talk to me. And I'm telling them, like, she can't tell y'all that.
No, that's right.
Now, you know, she can't do that. I'm like, hold on now. We ain't gonna do all that now, because what you doing is you coming in. This my community. These my people. You ain't finna. Now I understand. I got to talk to them and do y'all investigation.
Sure, but you're not disrupting any of that.
Yeah, but say that. You know what I'm saying? But tell them like, hey, we need to conduct this. And then, but what they outside the crime scene tape, don't tell them they can't talk to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because now we're gonna argue.
Yeah, it's the First Amendment, the most important of the amendments.
You can't tell them what they can't do. So,
that's right.
So somebody higher up end up seeing it. I end up talking to them. Not next thing you know, they on another duty. They on another post. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's because you got to do the right thing, man. It's not terribly hard to understand doing the right thing. Look, I understand that it happens every day. People don't do the right thing. That's the reason there's an avenue for you to report people not doing the right thing. Where does most of the criticism come from? Where is it centered around people that are in media that are envious or jealous or don't like what you're doing? Where does it come from?
I only had a couple people that was like in media and like that they kind of criticized me and felt like I'm not supposed to be where I'm at and stuff like that. It's only a couple people.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't get too much criticism. Like when I first started, it was a couple people in law enforcement that used to criticize me, and a couple people in media.
Do you feel like law enforcement has gotten comfortable with you being on the scene?
Yeah, because I respect people. Like, it ain't even a fact of he worked with the police or this or that. No, I know how to respect other people, man or woman.
Yeah.
So if you give respect, you get respect.
That's exactly right.
So I'm going to give the respect first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's just facts right there.
And Daniel, I think that's the most important thing that we've talked about today, is the fact that it's not a joke. It may have started out as something that he didn't expect, that the hood anchor didn't expect to turn into what it is, but he takes it seriously. He goes out and reports on things sometimes faster than traditional media can.
Yep.
And he's actually doing a good job.
Yeah, great job. Love it.
People are passing it around, and I know social media oftentimes gets written off as, it's just somebody being silly. That's not what it is for him.
Yeah, and it's, to be honest with you, I mean, you can say social, whatever. It's more authentic, in my opinion,
But that's the point.
than anything else. So,
That's the point that I'm trying to make. The Hood Anchor is that I think your stuff is more authentic than anything that's on the news at night. I know I can tell you the point of view. You show me the channel, and I can tell you the point of view that they're going to take on it.
Yeah.
Well, he has perspective that most
Right.
news media outlets are not going to have. So
If I pull up his TikTok or I pull up his Instagram, I don't know what angle you're going to take. I don't know what point of view you're coming from, which is good. You shouldn't know that about somebody that's reporting on a story. Have you ever thought about that? The fact that you're actually unbiased and everybody in the world is looking for unbiased reporting?
I mean, I just try to remain unbiased most of the time. Sometimes I feel like I might be biased,
Right?
but why everybody
But at
thinking
least
that I'm
you're
not? I feel like let's just say, like, this is a story that happened one time, and I feel like I was biased on this situation, but it's not looked at as I'm biased. Like, it's just me just showing emotion and feelings. Like a man, like he climbed up the balcony. I guess he split up with his wife. He lost a divorce, and it was 3 women in the apartment. He climbs up the balcony. He has a gun. They beat him with a fire extinguisher and killed him.
The ladies did?
Yeah. So I was like, shit, that's what he deserves.
Right.
But I'm really biased.
I don't know that that's biased or
I feel like I'm biased, like, because I'm not just giving you the report.
Yeah.
I'm siding with the ladies.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, y'all did a good job. Y'all whipped this A.
I don't know how else you would see that.
So
though,
it's
bro.
like
So-
I felt like I'm not being unbiased in situations like that, because I'm like, all right, y'all ladies, I need all 3 of y'all to come to Magic Night. Drinks on me.
Yeah. Was it more biased or just honest? Because when I hear it, I just got your honest reaction.
That's why it might not be. But sometimes I be looking at it like I really didn't stay neutral. I really just sided with the women.
But I think that's what real people do. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
But the difference is you're willing to admit it. If we turn on one of the news channels at night, they're not going to tell you that.
That's not how you're going to see it, right?
They're never going to admit what you just did.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Ever. They're going to tell you, oh, this is right. You have to see it this way, and if you don't, you're wrong.
Yeah.
That's what traditional media does. And look, I fight that battle all the time. You know, the one thing that I feel very fortunate about is that I can do this interview with Daniel and here on Extra. There's never been one time doing this in a traditional setting like a radio station that we're in where the management of Dickey Broadcasting has ever come over here and said, you must talk about this or you can't talk about that. I feel very blessed to have that because I don't think most people do. You do because you're your own shop, right? I still work for someone. I'm not my own shop, and yet I've never had that happen, so I feel very fortunate. And it's got to make you feel pretty good that, dude, you're doing it on your own. You don't need nobody.
Yeah, that's how I look at it.
Yeah, dude, I love it. When we come back on Extra 106.3 and Justice Unfiltered, we'll wrap up with the Hood Anchor, get some of his favorite stories, some of the things that he's covered, the craziest stuff he's seen, the stuff that was presented one way, and when he got to the scene, it was actually a very different situation. Talk about some of that next here on Extra 106.3 with Daniel Matalon, CEO of Second Chance Bail Bonds and a Second Chance Monitoring. I'm Tug Cowart, along with my man, the Hood Anchor.
Now back to Justice Unfiltered, presented by a Second Chance Bail Bonds on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Welcome back to Justice Unfiltered on Extra 106.3. My name is Tug Cowart, along with Daniel Matalon, CEO of a Second Chance Bail Bonds and a Second Chance Monitoring. The coolest guest that we've ever had on Justice Unfiltered. Hood Anchor is here with us on Extra 106.3. Dude, thank you for taking the time, first of all. I love the partnership that y'all have at a Second Chance. I know it's going to be successful. I know it's good for both of you. Atlanta, some of the busiest jails in the country. From everything you see, what do you think people most misunderstand about criminal justice and what happens when people get arrested or even worse? What do you think people misunderstand about the justice system?
I feel like they misunderstand sometimes the process. They don't understand, like, hey, you can't just go to jail and just now you just out. It don't work like that.
Yeah.
Like
a lot of people, but if you look at the news at night, you would think that was the way it worked.
They think they're supposed to just get in there and then get out in less than an hour. Like, it don't work like that. I know Trump came through here and got out real fast. And,
yeah.
You know, it have been situations where, you know, I didn't went in there and got out real fast. But it's like you got to go through a process. You know, you got to go through booking. You got to go through, fingerprint and all that, and it's a process. You're not just finna just get right out.
Yeah, definitely, Daniel. I would imagine that you see that on your end more than anybody.
Yeah, it
people
takes
expecting it just to be lickety split.
Oh yeah, instant gratification. I mean, that's what we all want, right?
That's right. Yes, absolutely right. But so, how do you walk people through on the second chance side? How do you walk people through that? Because I would imagine less than the person that's incarcerated that you're trying to help, helping their family understand it.
Yeah, and look, you work with the system that you're given, right? So each facility has their own set of systems, right? So DeKalb is different than Fulton, which is different than Cobb and Clayton, and go down the line. So it all just depends, but we have the best version of whatever that is in each facility.
Let's say,
and we try to accommodate that.
Let's say you walk up on, something you're going there to report. Have you ever expected something to happen a particular way, and then you get there and it happens completely differently, and that's something you're like, okay, I may have misunderstood what I thought was happening here, and then you have to do the journalism to get down to the bottom of it.
I'm gonna talk about this story. It's crazy. So I get out to a scene one day, and they say a person died, and so I get there and I give a report that they died.
Yeah.
Come to find out, they alive. So the family hit me up like, yeah, they did CPR on him, and he actually got resuscitated. He not dead, but we want you to keep your video up. I'm like, what? I'm like, this the family.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, nah, I gotta delete the video because he alive. It's misinformation.
Yeah, right.
So I gotta delete the video. They're like, no, keep it up there. We love it. I'm like, what in the world?
Did you ever figure out why they wanted you to do? Did they ever come clean?
They just liked my video. Like they just like, I don't know what it was.
It created the whole legend, is what it did.
Yeah, like I don't understand.
He reported he's dead. Turns out he's alive. This dude, there's only one that's done that I hear. About to be two, and this dude's in Atlanta. That's awesome. The fact that they wanted you to keep it up is so fantastic. Do you feel like kind of slightly that some of the people that end up on your video, they're TikTok famous a little bit?
Yeah. Like a lot of people, they get shot. Like they'll call me like, "Hey, Hood Anchor, I'm the one you did that story on." I'm like, for real? They're like, "Yeah, man." But a lot of them like to be on the more serious side.
Yeah, sure.
They'll call me and say, "I'm in the hospital. I just got shot. You did a video on it. This the only video that made me laugh."
Oh, well, but I would have. Well, there's that part. Okay, the part that made you laugh, which is great. But then you probably go, "Hey, this is the only video that exists. I wonder if the police actually need this, or some of the detail that come from it to figure out what actually happened."
That's on them,
They can go look on TikTok too.
That's on them. That's on them. I'm not sending them none of my videos or telling them who my people who I interview is. But if they find whatever they need to find, that's on them.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I do. I love it. I think it's fantastic, man. It's been so much fun, and it's gone by so quick. I hope it won't be the last time you come.
I'm not anytime.
Dude,
it don't even matter.
It's good, Daniel. Always fun. I don't know how y'all line up all the guests that you do, but it is always. This has been the most entertaining for sure. Made me laugh the most, and I can't wait to do it again. So I have a feeling Hood Anchor may have to come back.
He's definitely coming back.
All right,
coming back.
For Hood Anchor Daniel Matalon, he is the CEO of a Second Chance Bail Bonds and a Second Chance Monitoring. My name is Tug Cowart. You're on Extra 106.3. Make it a great day.
This is an Extra 106.3 podcast. To hear more live and local content like this, tune into 106.3 FM or download the Extra 106.3 app.